Okay, welcome to the Happy Gal Podcast Series. I'm Jenny Layton with the Happy Gal. And on our podcast series, we're all about organizing your life. And so today we want to talk about that clutter that shows up in our minds when we look in the mirror and check ourselves out, maybe in a swimsuit, or have some negative things start to show up in our thoughts. We're going to talk about body image today. And our podcast today is a real treat. And I mean that really, like, this is like podcast dessert because I have a couple of ladies here with me who have an amazing new video out. I swimsuit season so hard. I just have been laughing about this for days, ever since I've seen this. So I want to welcome Kristen, Hensely, and Jen Smedley from imomsohard to our podcast. And I love these ladies because they make me laugh at all of these things that we go through as women and as mothers that are awful and hard. They bring humor into it. So Kristen and Jen, welcome to the Happy Gal Podcast today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
We're so excited to have you here. So Jen and Kristen, help our listeners get to know you a little bit. So if anyone's new to you guys or just getting to know you, tell us about you guys and what you do and imomsohard and how you got started.
Well, right now we're doing a couple of different things, but originally we started out as a web series on Facebook. We are native to Facebook because that's where the moms go, and it generates that really fun community and all the engagement, all the comments. So if you want to find us, that's where you can find us, is on Facebook. I'm on so hard, and I guess it all started. Jen, what do you think? Like about a year and 2 months ago?
A little over a year ago. Kristen and I have been friends for like 10 years, and she had her kids first, and we would sort of like commiserate together, and by that I mean cry and laugh about the job we were doing as mothers, and sort of felt like, if this is funny to us, we just had a bad day this one day, and the husbands had the kids in the backyard and we were inside, like, how come nobody told us this was going to be this hard? We need to get the word out and laugh about it. A year ago, we started doing the videos, and it's just been super fast and fun from then on.
I love that, Jen. I so relate because there's so many times I think with being a mom, like, nobody warned me about this. I feel a little deceived that no one sat me down and said, now listen, this is going to be kind of rough, wonderful,
yeah.
But rough. So
no one tells you that at points in your life, you're going to like look at your kid and be like, I don't like you right now. And you love them, you would like, and that's part of the frustration too. You're like, man, I don't like you, and I still take a bullet. Like, you're being rude, but at the end of the day, you love them and you do anything for them. And that's the part of the funny, is the ridiculous relationship we have with these little beings that you would literally just do anything for. Right.
And I love the way that you help us laugh at that. And I was just so in love with your video, I Swimsuit Season So Hard, because we're talking about that this week at Happy Gal. We've got this great body image campaign going, Love Your Body 2017. And I got to know. So first of all, if listeners haven't seen that, we're going to provide a link. They've got to go check that video out. It's so funny. But you've got to tell us, how did that video come about? What was who came up with that one?
Jen.
Well, we try to choose topics that are really like resonating with us at the moment. And unfortunately, I don't think that moms are complainers, A, because I don't think they have time, and B, because I really think that they love what they're doing. But it's nice to know that you're not the only one who's thinking about that thing or feeling that thing. And I think women all the time are beating themselves up for not having this magazine, like they should be on the cover of Lowrider magazine, in a swimsuit. The reality is maybe a tiny percent of the population looks like that, but the rest of us, as long as we're healthy, we don't need to be giving each other or ourselves a hard time about it,
Absolutely. I know. I loved when you guys put on those swimsuits. Like I was dying. I was, I was sitting in the waiting room, getting my car worked on, watching it on my phone and just laughing out loud at you guys trying on the swimsuits. Whose idea was that to try on those swimsuits?
Well, yeah, here's how it really comes out. So Jen and I are talking about swimsuit season, and it's like, this is how many of our video ideas come up. And I was like, God, I'm still a little pudgier than I was when I had, well, let's be honest, my first, who's 6 years old. And I was like, God, I just, I know I don't look like super terrible. Like I have a sense of what I am, but like I get, a little self-conscious at the beach. I feel like the second I take off these clothes, there's so much of me revealed, and dudes get to wear like shorts and a t-shirt and no one says a thing. No one is looking at them like, oh, what are they trying to cover up? They're just like dads at the beach. And so I was telling Jen, and I could see her wheels were spinning, and she's like, oh yeah, we should do this for a video. And I'm like, hold on. And then she's like, now we really have to do it. Like, you're uncomfortable with this. This is probably the way many people feel. And so I blame her for...
Anytime Kristen feels like really sick before we do a video or nervous or scared, I'm like, yep, this is the one we got to do.
I love that.
So then we went to the store and we were like, well, let's test this theory. And so we went to the store and we went, bathing suit shopping, which I'm not somebody that can just go into a store, find my size, pull it off the rack and wear it. Like I have to try on like 50 before I'm like, all right, well, this one's okay. And then we went to the store and I was like, these suits are ridiculous. Like what mom can mom in these suits? Like you're going to like, one of your boobs is going to come out and like hurt somebody. Let's be honest. Like there's no way containment is going to happen if there's 50,000 cutouts. I didn't even know where the coverage came from, to be quite honest. I was like, this feels like one area is covered and the other area is sort of rogue. And I just, ridiculous food. It's not fair.
Well,
I'm all for like 1920 swimsuits coming back.
Exactly. As soon as they start showing that on Pinterest and Instagram, that's when we all start seeing it again.
Yeah.
Well, I just loved that because, I mean, it really did kind of showcase how ridiculous our expectations are, and I just felt so liberated as I watched you guys because I thought, why do I put pressure on myself for, feeling like I need to look better than I do? Because, I mean, this whole swimsuit thing is just a joke, at least these kinds. It just really was funny to me. What kind of response have you guys gotten from this particular video? Have you had a lot of people making comments and writing in?
Oh, I mean, we can't even keep up. We were in Seattle. Well, first we started in Portland, then Seattle, then Minneapolis. So we have not been able to really sit down at the computer and like really go through the comments as much as we normally do because we've been on the planes. And I went through them last night. I made it through about half, and they're wonderful. They're like, and I think the thing that we love the most is that women are saying, yeah, look, maybe I'm not exactly where I want to be, but the most important thing for me is to engage with my kids because they think I'm awesome when I'm playing with them and they don't care. So why should I care? And all this engagement is so powerful because it's women like supporting women they don't even know. Like some women have posted pictures of themselves in their bathing suits and it's like 50 other comments like, you look great, girl. Like, that's what it's all about. We got to start reshaping the way we think. And instead of looking and being critical to yourself or to others, start thinking like, hey man, she's here. She's literally at the beach. Bravo. You win.
Right.
You made it.
Well, and I just
everybody needs a trophy after they just lug all their beach supplies out to the beach.
Yeah, man.
Hero status already.
Packing a lunch. That takes some time. I just love the way that
17 hours.
What's that?
I said it takes 17 hours to pack for a trip where you'll be there for 90 minutes.
No kidding. And that
Yeah.
food's gone in a second.
Yeah.
I love the way that you guys are able to kind of break down our defenses and our barriers through humor like that, because we all know it's ridiculous, but we kind of live in our own little silent worlds, just feeling bad about things. And it's just so, like I said before, just so liberating to just have it out there in the open and something that we can laugh at. So I just have loved that from you. And I loved how you started that out, how you guys were like, this is what dudes wear to the beach. And I'm like, how is that even fair? Why do we have to shave everything, show all the skin, Why is that?
And I was just noticing too, while Kristen was talking, I actually, like, this isn't a dude bashing thing. It's like, we need to borrow this, like, mindset from guys, which is, no man has ever in his life talked on the phone to another man and said, you know what? I'm not exactly where I want to be right now, but I'm going to put the chest on. I'm going to get to the beach. Like, we think like that.
Yeah. In fact, my husband and I were talking about this. There's this odd, it's an interesting observation in that when you see a guy at the beach, right? And let's say he's a little soft around the edges, like, he's not packing a 6-pack, he's probably drinking one, but he's like sitting at the beach. You think, oh, that's a good dad. You think, oh, that's a fun guy because, like, he's a little pudgy, so that means he's not going to the gym. That means he's spending time with his family. You know what I mean? Like, we give so many breaks to these guys, which is not, it's not women hating men. It's just, like Jen said, we got to borrow that idea and say, like, hey, man, like, women to ourselves, and we look in that mirror, we go, all right, I'm going to be okay with okay today because that's going to get me out to that beach, and everybody's going to have a good time. And at the end of the day, that's living. Exactly. I'm not trying to walk the runway for Marc Jacobs. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be with my kids and be happy.
Yes. Well, I love that you said that, nobody feels perfect about the way that they look. And at the end, let's just go to the beach and have a good time. And, I think that's easy for us to say while we're all fully clothed, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But then when we get out there, it's a different story when we've got to take the towel off or the cover up off or whatever and get out there. And I was just thinking, as you were saying, you look at men and you think, what a great dad. Don't you think it's funny if you ever look at a woman who looks really good, you're kind of like, well, she probably is just into herself. She probably, is she a very good mom,
And that's the thing. We're not saying, like, look at the woman and be, Go ahead, Jen.
We always say, like, if you go to our Facebook page, I don't want to jinx us, but we're talking about like hundreds of thousands of comments from the time that we started until now. And they're all nice and they're very go girl and they're very like on every topic we've talked about, they're so supportive. So it's like, I think if you just watch the swimsuit video, if that's all you watch, it's been shared 100,000 times. Like, how many people have seen it now? Like 15 million. And the reason I'm saying that is only to say that's 15 million people who feel like you. That's who you're at the beach with, not, supermodels, just average moms who just want to feel okay at the beach. So,
right.
And we're not trying to disparage people who are fit and take, that's, we're just saying, like, whatever you look like, as long as you're getting out and playing with your kids and having a good time, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing, like, support is support. There isn't me sitting on the side going, oh man, she really works out a lot, I hate her. That's the opposite of what we're saying. We're saying, like, go girl, that's your thing, you go for it. I tend to like a set of nachos too much, but I love that you don't. And we're going to high five each other. And I'm going to go sit down and probably drink a margarita and you're going to drink vitamin water. It's all fine.
Yeah.
It's all fine.
Well, that's what resonated with me so much when I saw this, because the whole theme of our campaign, this Love Your Body 2017, is all about, get out there and have an awesome summer. Don't let yourself feel insecure. Go do the things you want to be doing. And I just loved that message. I loved how you made us laugh about it, and kind of brought it into that humorous light. But I just love that you were reinforcing that same message that I think is so important for women to hear.
It is. I think it's important for our daughters to see us. I think women are hard on themselves no matter what. We're never going to change that. And I think that's because of our drive to be excellent mothers. Like Jen and I have always said, we've only met women who are literally doing their best at being a mom. No one's like, oh, I've got this figured out. They're like really always striving, and you're sort of always feeling like you're not doing it right. And so I think we'll just always be hard on ourselves for that. And I think that breeds empathy and compassion and all the good things that come with it. But the bad things, that we feel insecure all the time and like we don't measure up. And I think that's a real fight. And we've got to show our daughters that, like, hey, maybe I'm not perfect. I'm here. And like, let's smile and laugh and make some memories. And then she feels that way about herself.
Exactly. I love that, Jen. I think you mentioned that in that video you guys made was, you can't just tell your daughter, you got to show her how to have a great
Kristen.
image.
Kristen said that. I thought it was, Kristen said that, and I thought it was divinely inspired. It's true, because especially little ones, they follow everything that you do. And like, Kristen and I talk about it all the time. We don't want our daughters to like be mean to themselves like we are sometimes,
Right. So, okay. So for listeners listening today, what would you tell everyone who has these same concerns? We've talked about a lot of stuff, let's just go out and have a good time. But, one specific thing you would tell women to do to help their daughters so that they can have a better experience than we've had, to not be so hard on themselves. What would you say?
Jen, you go first, because my ticker is thinking.
I don't know. I just always go back to the thing that our grade school teachers always said, which is keep your eyes on your own work. If you're worried about like creating a fun, awesome day for your kids at the beach, creating a fun, awesome day for yourself, doing the stuff that you want to do, you kind of are not going to have time to worry about the other stuff. Wear what you feel comfortable in and just have your best day. And if you feel comfortable in a song, I will help you with your sunscreen. That sounded creepy. That's not.
I love that.
I just mean like, all levels of your comfort. Just have fun. Everybody's worried about themselves and pretty much not you.
I love that. Kristen, did you have anything to add to that?
Well, mine's not as poetic, but I'm just going to, when I was like going through a real awkward stage and during puberty, my dad took me out to have a real hard talk conversation. And I was telling him about how I was worried about what people think. And I won't use the word he used because, well, we're really good at swearing. But he said, sometimes you just got to say, beep it. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes you just got to say, I don't care. I'm just going to go. And if that gets you out of your house for one day, it's ironic that motion will put you in motion and sort of get you to where you want to go anyway, which is sort of just being happy. So I think I just hope there's some mom out there who's like feeling pretty bad about herself, but she decides to go anyway and has a great time and comes home and is like, okay, that was worth it. I had a great time. And I think that's all Jen and I always talk about that and hope for moms everywhere that they just feel good for a day even.
Right. I know. I love that because I think when you take that first step, the next step is easier. And so, you realize it wasn't bad. In fact, it was really good. And I think it's all about being present, just plugging into the moment, and what's going on and getting out of your head. And that's where the real joy and magic happens there in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go build a sandcastle or go to your local sand pit or just go have a good time and, forget it. It's too easy to get wrapped up in what everybody else thinks.
Well, I love it, you guys. This has been such a great conversation. I'm wondering, do you have a couple favorite videos you want to direct any listeners to that you just think they're all hilarious, but what are your favorites?
I love our fitness video because when we were shooting it, I was crying laughing. I had the best time with Jen, like making her wear boxing gloves was like the greatest. It was so fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that one just because I look at that and I remember like what that day was like. I also thought body hair was really fun because Jen's laugh is like, her mouth is like so open and she's laughing so hard. And that's how I remember is like the joy of what we were doing that day. So those are my favorites. And Spanx was pretty fun too.
I just watched all of those and I loved the fitness one. You could tell how much fun you were having. Jen, I loved when you were like crawling under Kristen when she was doing the plank and you're like, what is this supposed to be doing for me?
Yeah, it's hard to hold your mimosa and work out. So.
Well, so you guys, you've got this tour going on. So tell listeners about this tour and how they can find you and all this fun stuff you've got going on this summer.
Well, we take we call it the playroom where we shoot the videos and basically put it on stage. But we tell you, we go deeper with stuff. We talk more about stuff. We embarrass ourselves a little bit more. It's like a 2-person stand-up show, and we engage the audience, and it's full of moms who are ready to like party. The audience is just full of moms.
Jen calls it the monster truck show for moms, which I think is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
And I'm just envisioning all these women who are so ready to get out of the house, dying of laughter.
Oh God,
you guys. I've read some reviews. They're saying it's the best mom's night out ever, and I'm sure it is. So everyone needs to get online. Do they just go to imomsohard.com and find that show schedule there to get tickets?
Yep. The tour schedule should pop up as soon as they get there. So hopefully we're at a city near you. There's like 40 cities. So
awesome. And worth traveling for too, for sure. Okay. Well, you guys, as we end today, I actually have a parting gift and it's going to complement your series really well. So our Love Your Body 2017 campaign also has this amazing giveaway with all of these great prizes. And we've partnered with Lime Ricky, which is a swimwear company. And they want to gift you guys both a swimsuit. And it's not the black metal Spider-Man one. It's one that's going to hold you in and make you look great. So we're excited to give those to you and just want to say thank you today for being here and for sharing with all of our listeners your humor and your insights and your perspective. It's just been great.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for all you're doing for moms everywhere. We just love you and are excited to see what's next for you. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you and have a great day and have a great summer.
Well, thank you so much. Okay, we'll go ahead and close this podcast. I just want to, again, thank Kristen and Jen from imomsohard for being here and thank all of you for listening and remind you, the Happy Gal, we're here to help you get your life organized, get in control so you can live a life you love. Thanks.